If you constantly find yourself stuck in cycles of procrastination, unable to break free from the grip of laziness, you're not alone. Many people struggle with the same issue, feeling like their potential is locked away, waiting to be unleashed. The good news is, this problem can be solved, not by simply pushing yourself harder, but by addressing the deeper psychological forces at play. The key to overcoming procrastination and achieving lasting growth lies in understanding and confronting your inner shadow, as outlined by Carl Jung. By exploring and integrating the hidden parts of your psyche, you can unlock a new level of motivation, focus, and purpose that drives you toward continuous self-improvement and success. Jung's ideas are not just esoteric theories, but practical psychological tools that can help you break free from the chains of self-doubt, procrastination, and the subconscious patterns that hold you back from achieving greatness. The truth is, understanding the shadow is the missing key to unlocking your fullest potential. This concept of the shadow, when fully understood and integrated, can change your destiny by transforming the way you see yourself, your motivations, and your relationship with the world around you. In this video, we will explore Carl Jung's philosophy in depth, understanding how it can illuminate the path to personal growth, destroy laziness, and lead you toward the life you've always dreamed of. This is not about a quick fix. This is about deep, lasting change that will alter the very core of who you are. The shadow is one of Carl Jung's most profound and transformative concepts. It represents the parts of ourselves that we suppress, deny, or reject, traits, desires, and emotions that are deemed unacceptable by society, our families, or even by our own standards. These are not necessarily bad qualities, but they are the aspects of ourselves that we deem too embarrassing, too dangerous, or too inconvenient to acknowledge. In simple terms, the shadow is the dark side of the personality, the unconscious traits that we try to keep hidden from ourselves and others. Yet these same traits are often the ones that determine our behavior in ways we don't even understand. Whether it's our need for approval, our fear of failure, or even our deepest insecurities, the shadow has a huge influence over how we live and how we approach our goals. Imagine a person who is incredibly talented, but constantly procrastinates. On the surface, it may seem like laziness, but when we dig deeper, we often discover that this person is terrified of failing. They are so afraid of falling short that they put off starting projects or tasks altogether. This procrastination is a manifestation of their shadow, the fear of inadequacy that they refuse to confront. By refusing to face the shadow of their fear, they remain trapped in a cycle of avoidance, convinced that the act of doing something is worse than doing nothing at all. But the truth is, by confronting this fear head-on, they could liberate themselves from the hold of procrastination. Carl Jung's insight into the shadow is that it is not something to be rejected or destroyed. It is something to be integrated. In Jungian psychology, integration means accepting all parts of ourselves, even those we find uncomfortable. When we embrace the shadow, we move beyond its subconscious influence and take control of our lives. We stop being run by hidden fears and start living authentically. When you integrate your shadow, you no longer feel like you're constantly battling with yourself. You understand your strengths and weaknesses, your desires and fears, and you begin to make decisions from a place of wholeness, not fragmentation. This process can lead to greater self-awareness, deeper emotional resilience, and an increased ability to take action. Consider an artist who fears criticism. Their shadow might be the fear that their work won't be good enough, or that they will be rejected by their peers. By confronting this fear, they can shift their mindset from perfectionism to progress. Rather than avoid creating because of the fear of judgment, they accept that not every piece will be perfect, and that's okay. By confronting their shadow, accepting their fear, they can create freely, without the paralyzing effects of perfectionism. This shift allows them to be more productive, more innovative, and more committed to their craft, ultimately leading to success. Laziness is often misunderstood. Society tends to label those who struggle with procrastination as lazy. But laziness is more complex than a simple lack of motivation. In reality, what many perceive as laziness is a defensive mechanism, a way to avoid confronting difficult emotions, uncomfortable truths, or fear of failure. When you resist doing something, whether it's writing that paper, exercising, or starting a new project, it's not always because you don't care or lack discipline. Often it's because there's something deeper within you that you are avoiding. The shadow plays a huge role in this. Laziness may be a result of inner resistance to facing parts of yourself that you find uncomfortable. By understanding laziness through the lens of Jungian psychology, you realize that it is often a defense against vulnerability. You may avoid taking action because it forces you to face an internal fear, whether it's a fear of rejection, fear of failure, or a fear of not being good enough. This is why people who struggle with procrastination often feel drained, anxious, or paralyzed. They're not just avoiding work, they are avoiding the discomfort of self-examination. Take, for instance, a person who avoids writing a book because they fear their ideas are unoriginal or subpar. Their avoidance isn't laziness, it's fear in disguise. They are procrastinating because they don't want to face the possibility that their work might not be perfect, and that fear stems from their shadow. By acknowledging and integrating this fear, understanding that imperfections are part of the creative process, they can overcome procrastination. They begin to take action, knowing that the journey of creation is messy and imperfect, but that it's the only path forward. The process of integrating the shadow is known as shadow work. This is where real transformation begins. Shadow work requires courage and self-honesty, but it holds the key to breaking through the barriers of laziness, fear, and stagnation. Start by becoming more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Pay attention to the areas in your life where you feel resistance. What are you avoiding? What emotions or actions make you uncomfortable? These are often clues to your shadow. Writing down your fears, desires, and judgments can help you uncover hidden aspects of your psyche. Write freely without judgment. Allow yourself to explore your darker thoughts and emotions without fear. Embrace your shadow with love, not shame. These parts of you are not bad. They are simply parts of the human experience that need acceptance and understanding. Once you have identified your shadow, start taking small actions to confront the fears or insecurities it represents. For example, if you fear failure, take a small step toward your goal without worrying about the outcome. If you're struggling with deeper shadow work, seeking the help of a therapist or coach familiar with Jungian psychology can provide valuable guidance. They can help you uncover unconscious patterns and teach you how to integrate your shadow effectively. Once you have begun to integrate your shadow, you will notice a profound shift. No longer will you feel stuck in a cycle of procrastination. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks because they trigger your fears, you will confront those tasks with confidence and clarity. You will no longer be paralyzed by the discomfort of vulnerability. Instead, you'll take action, even if that action is imperfect. The more you engage with your shadow, the more energy, focus, and purpose you will have in your life. Your relationship with laziness will transform from one of avoidance to one of empowerment. Consider an entrepreneur who feels paralyzed by the fear of failure. They procrastinate starting their business, believing they need to have everything perfect before they can launch. By doing shadow work, they confront the fear of failure that has been holding them back. They realize that this fear isn't an obstacle. It's a sign that they are about to take a significant step forward. By acknowledging their fear, they take action. They launch their business imperfectly, knowing that mistakes are part of the process, and in doing so, they free themselves from the prison of procrastination and move forward with confidence, gradually building success. The power to transform your life, overcome laziness, and achieve personal growth lies within you. The first step is understanding and embracing your shadow, the parts of yourself you've kept hidden, suppressed, or ignored. By integrating your shadow, you can break free from the cycle of procrastination and self-doubt. You will begin to live with purpose, drive, and authenticity. Laziness will no longer have a hold on you, because you will no longer be avoiding the fears and insecurities that it masks. Carl Jung's shadow philosophy offers a path to self-empowerment. It's a philosophy that encourages us to face the darkness within, not to be afraid of it, but to integrate it and move forward with strength. Your destiny is not defined by your weaknesses, fears, or laziness. Your destiny is defined by your willingness to confront those aspects, integrate them, and evolve.